Are you wondering, does my ex still love me? I'm Rosetta. Pick a card, number 1, number 2, or number 3, and I will be doing a detailed tarot reading for you with your guidance from Spirit to answer the question, does your ex still love you? And stay to the very end of this video when I'll be pulling some oracle cards for you as well. All right, number 1, number 2, number 3. Timestamps will be in the description below. Let's go. Welcome group 1. As I shuffle the cards for you, please focus your mind on the person that you're inquiring about. We're going to be answering the question, does your ex still love you? And this is a group tarot reading, which means it will not be as specific to your situation as a one-to-one tarot reading with me would be. So take what resonates and leave the rest. And if this reading, the group 1 reading, does not seem to speak to your situation, then please take a look at my readings for group 2 or group 3. In these group reading situations, it's likely that one of the 3 readings will speak to you. Okay, let's see what we have for you. The card you chose, this is from the Psychic Tarot deck, and as part of that deck, they have 7 chakra cards. So the chakra card you chose is the sacral chakra. That is the chakra of sexuality. So that can be a healthy sexuality, or it even can be a sex addiction. But this partner, if you're in the right place, if the group 1 reading is right for you, it's likely that your partner was very, very, very concerned with his sex life, that may have been a difficult topic in your relationship, or there was some way that maybe you didn't match up. Let's see what cards we draw, and then you're going to know for sure if this is the right group for you. All right, group 1, let's see what we have. Question is, does my ex still love me? And we're going to need some extra cards here. So I really want to know whether the card in front of the situation, so the card going forward, does this card relate to you in terms of the thoughts of your ex? Is this relating to you or a different person? So is this relating to you? Or does the Empress relate to someone else? Okay, it does not relate to you and it does not relate to someone else. So here's what I'm reading here. This is a grass is always greener situation. So this is a situation where your ex, it's not that he's not interested in a relationship, but he has this ideal fantasy woman image that you ended up not being that ideal image for him. And once again, we're looking at maybe not the most evolved ex in this situation. So this is that kind of ex that never grew up, that gets these fantasy women in his mind, or maybe he even was involved in porn, in scenarios that a real woman could never really live up to. So is he still in love with you though? So we don't see him going back to you right now. And I always hate when we get these readings where you get an answer that maybe you do not prefer. But he's seeing, in fact, not only this, he's blaming you for a lot of things going on in his own life. He's blaming you that you didn't give him what he thought he wanted. He feels like his fantasies and his wishes in life should be so easy for anyone to fulfill. But here, the basis of the situation, he sees you as being a little bit colder, a little bit harder of a person than the fantasy woman he's envisioning. Let me see if there's anything else I can tell you about this group 1. So we don't see him coming back, but does he still love you? I feel like we need to actually answer, we see that you're not fulfilling his kind of out of control needs in this situation, but does he still love you though? You know what, we do see that he still does love you. We don't see him coming back, but we see that he still loves you. So I feel like I need a couple more cards here for you, group one. So if you wanted him to come back, my question now is there a way that you can fulfill his needs the way that he sees them? So is it possible for you to do? Yeah, you're not really matching up in that way. Can he become more reasonable in his needs? Let's ask that. All right, so we see that he still has love for you. We see that you really don't match up in your sexual wants and needs, though. And then we see that if you try to adapt yourself to his needs, we see that, you know, there's not happiness there for you either. So here's what I want to say in this context. Sometimes it can be really hard to let go of someone you love. So it's probably worth giving a try, because I don't see you getting closure unless you do give it a try. So these are things we have to experience for ourselves. We can't have some tarot reader on YouTube who's reading for a group collective. You know, we can't necessarily believe everything that comes across in a group reading like this. So my suggestion to you is go ahead. There's still love there on the part of your ex. Go ahead and try if you want to, because you have to experience this for yourself. And but yes, he still does love you. But the thing that he loves most of all is his sex life and his sexuality. That is so super important to him. So, you know, look within your own mind and heart. Are you willing to give more? Are you willing to try things you're not comfortable with? In some cases, this might even be that he wants to be in an open relationship. So whatever the case is for your particular situation, think about it carefully within yourself. And then if you really want to give it a try, I would suggest, yes, go for it and try, because that's the only way that you're going to really feel closure in this situation. Now, I'm going to be pulling oracle cards at the end of this video. Right here, I'm going to be putting a timestamp where you can see where to quickly scroll ahead if you'd like to see what the oracle cards have to say about this situation. Thank you for being with me. As always, subscribe, click the notification bell, give this video a like, and I would really love it if you would leave me a quick comment as well. All right, blessings everyone. Hope to see you in the oracle card readings. Welcome, group 2. Let's see what we have to say for you in answer to the question, does my ex still love me? Okay, and as I always like to emphasize, this is a group tarot reading. It's not going to be as specific to your situation as a one-on-one tarot reading with me would be. So take what resonates and leave the rest. As I start to pull the cards for you, if you feel strongly that this is not your situation, please go take a look at my readings for group 1 or group 3. And that's because this is a group reading. So one of the 3 readings is likely to speak to you. But again, because it's a collective reading, it's possible that the group you chose might not be the perfect reading for you, but one of the other 2 will be. Okay, so the card you chose. This is from the Psychic Tarot deck, and there are 7 chakra cards that are part of that deck, and the card you chose is the Heart Chakra. So that means that your ex is someone who tended to be very emotional, who tended to be very loving, who tended to be able to be hurt easily, but was also a loving and a giving person. So if that sounds like your person, stay with this group. And if that sounds not at all like your person, then please check out group 1 or group 3. So let's see what we have for you. Does he still love you? All right, so one thing that we see right away, and that can also help you know if you're in the right place, group 2, is that in the basis of the situation, it looks like during your relationship together, you were not as happy as you wanted to be. Now, this is coming from his perspective, but what I'm seeing and feeling here is probably true for both of you. So this is not probably a situation where one person was happy and just had no clue that the other person wasn't happy. Right? So let's pull a few more cards and see what we see here. Yeah, and we see possibility that even with whether or not there was financial success, but I'm seeing here that there was likely to be all of the creature comforts, all of the things that people need and want to have in life, including quite a few luxuries, were part of your relationship, but they still didn't make him happy. So here we see him going off in search of something else, leaving behind. So 8 cups fulfilled. Right? So a lot of success, a lot of love that he felt from various people in his life, but somehow it just did not make him happy. It wasn't the right thing. So he continues to look. He continues to search for that perfect love or the kind of love he needs. And he did not have it within the relationship to the extent he wanted to. I see him having a lot of hurt feelings like, this should have worked out. He's feeling like, I did everything right. Why did this not work out? All right, let's see what more I can tell you here, group 2. Because we've got the situation nailed down. Okay, so now you know if you're in the right place. Did this sound like your relationship? But we still didn't answer the question, how does he feel now? Does he still love you? All right, so does he still love her? You know, he goes back and forth on it. Let's get a couple more cards here. Okay, so I just want to be really clear as I lay my hands on the cards. Does their ex still love them? Okay, he's going through a lot of changes right now. So he may even be going into a completely new career or line of work. His feelings are one way one day, another way another day. So if this is a person who's been in contact with you and has been making noises kind of like, oh, he regrets that you're not still together, and so you're feeling really confused because, well, what does that really mean? And then he disappears for a period of time. Just know that Death card, he's going through a lot of changes, and he himself is not sure about what he should let go of, what he should keep, where should he try again, and he's a little bit preoccupied also with his own life and his own future. Okay, so when we see this 8 of Cups, he's going off in a completely different direction. Maybe he's even moved. Maybe he's living in a different state or a completely different place now than before. Maybe he's pursuing an entirely different career now. Maybe he's back in school. Maybe he's training for something else. Maybe he's even pursuing something because of his heart. You know, his heart needs to be in everything that he's doing. So maybe he's even doing something that's a little bit chancy with his line of work or with his career because he needs to be doing something that he loves. And that's what is preoccupying him right now. So what should you do? So if he has been in contact and then sort of disappeared for a period of time and you're really confused about what are his feelings, what is going on, why is this happening? So what should you be doing? All right, so you just need to recognize, here he is, he's the King of Cups. You need to recognize that he is, you know, cups are a sign of water. So not only is he emotional, not only is he loving, but he also can be changeable. All right, and so you Queen of Wands here, you are a little bit more practical. You are a little bit more, you are fiery, but you follow through. You know what you want. So your personalities are a little bit different here. So what should you do? I would not run after him. I would give him his space and just see how he acts, see how he behaves. But at this point in time, I would not try to nail him down in terms of what his feelings are. Just know that you're fundamentally different in what matters to you. You really want more the stability in a certain way. You want to know where you stand. You know, this is fire. This is fire and water together. Now, can these two types of people ever really be happy and mixed together? Yes, they can. Opposites can attract, and opposites can decide to accommodate and understand each other. Definitely that can happen, but he's not in the stage to do that right now. So I would recommend go ahead and live your life. Feel open to meeting other people. Feel open to exploring different things in your own life. Don't wait for him to come back. But if he does come back, and if he has something to say, if he's not just sort of, oh, kind of, sort of, maybe, but if he's saying something concrete to you about his own realizations that he has made, where he is in his life now, then, you know, then listen, give him a chance, see how that sits with you. But I'd really like to encourage you to look within and say, how is this situation making you feel? Because it's important that you feel good, that you only listen to things and be part of people's lives when it makes you feel stronger and better and happier yourself. So if this situation with him is really causing you a lot of grief, then, you know, let it go. He may come back. We don't know what will happen a few months from now. Okay? So that's what I have to say for you, group 2. Please like, click the notification bell, subscribe, and leave me a quick comment if this resonated with you. And there's going to be a timestamp right here where you can scroll ahead in order to see my oracle card reading for you today as well. All right, blessings, everyone. All right, welcome group 3. So, as I always say, this is a group tarot reading. It's not going to be as specific to your situation as a one-on-one tarot reading would be. So take what resonates and leave the rest as I start to lay out the cards for you. And if it doesn't seem like it's representing the person you're asking about or your situation, please check out my readings for group 1 or group 2. So it's not always the case that the card that you chose is the best reading for you. And once again, that's because this is a collective reading that many, many people are going to be viewing and trying to take something away from. So the card you chose is from the Psychic Tarot, which also includes 7 chakra cards as part of the deck. And the one that you chose is the sixth chakra. And so that's more of a chakra of a thinker, a person who lives a life of the mind. Often it can be a highly educated person, but it's not the most warm and fuzzy person a lot of the time. It's not the most sensual or sexual person a lot of the time. It's really a person who loves ideas, oftentimes loves books, you know, but just and loves to talk and loves to discuss ideas. So if that sounds like your person, hang on. Let's pull some cards and then we'll know without a doubt if this is your person. All right, Ace of Pentacles behind you, beneath the situation, King of Wands in reverse. All right, and 7 of Swords. Okay. So I'm going to tell you about the situation in a minute, but I just want to get right to your question because none of these things tell me right away. Does my ex still love me is the question we're asking. Does your ex still love you? let's just get right to that, and then I can tell you more about the situation. Okay, let me get a couple more here, just to be sure. Okay, so I am seeing that no, he does not still love you. So I always hate to give the bad news there, but we see a relationship that likely once was very happy and the situation is turned upside down. In other words, that it's not going the full distance. So you're not with this person achieving the complete happiness, the family happiness, just the complete soulmate relationship is not happening here. So what else can we tell you here? He has felt that, turned upside down in his own sense of who he is, in his own sense of being. So he feels like the relationship has made him weaker and not stronger. He came in feeling very positive. So Ace of Pentacles, Pentacles are all of the earthly enjoyments. So it's likely that you had a very positive, lots of sparks flying, early dating or early courtship life, and everything was looking so good. And then he started feeling like weakened and weakened by this relationship. So this could be for many reasons that have nothing to do with you, but it could be, so take this only if it resonates, but it could be like, were you picking on him? Were you trying to change him as part of this relationship? Were you not accepting who he was and thinking, well, I can make him into the ideal partner that I want? So if anything like that was going on, that is likely to be the seeds of destruction in this relationship. So if that did happen, then just please know that in your next relationship, just take that forward and make sure that whatever person you go into relationship with, that you feel that they are pretty much fine as they are. They're not a fixer-upper. It's not to try to convince or get through to them about certain things. So do choose someone and wait for someone who really is pretty much what you want, exactly as they present themselves when you meet them. All right, so going forward, we've got the Seven of Swords. It almost feels like the way things worked out, the way things evolved in your relationship, he ends up feeling like he's got to sneak around. He ends up feeling that he can't really tell you what he's up to. So there's likely there was some deception in the relationship at the time as it sort of wound down into the breakup, into how it ended up. And he didn't like seeing that in himself. He didn't like being that kind of person. So I think that's pretty much what I have, but hang in here with me, because I always like to give you something positive to take away. So where does group 3 go from here? Okay, so let's just see what Spirit has to say to you going forward. Okay, so we got the Queen of Pentacles. We started out with the Ace of Pentacles, and then we get the Queen of Pentacles. So what we see is that, whether you know it or not, this relationship also wore you down to a certain extent as well. So what you want to be doing, according to Spirit, at this time, for the next little period of time, is rediscovering yourself. Because as you become stronger in who you are, then you're attracting the kind of person who will be the best possible partner for who you are. So this is a time where get your own strength back. Remember who you are in your highest and best and most beautiful self. And hang out with friends as well. So 3 of Cups in reverse. It's likely that you've been worrying about this situation quite a bit. And so as we do that, our world becomes smaller and we start having less fun. We are doing fewer things that we enjoy. So Spirit is saying, get out there, rediscover yourself, and then you can take another look at this situation and see what you think about everything that has happened at that point. Okay, I would love it if you stay with me for the next 30 seconds or so, because we're going to go right into Oracle card reading. But before we go there, would you please think about subscribing and clicking that notification bell. Give this video a like, and my favorite of all, leave me a comment if this resonated with you. And if it did not, of course, please check out the reading for Group 1 and Group 2 in this video, because I believe one of the three will resonate with you. All right, we're pulling a card for Group 1, Group 2, and Group 3. Here we go. Group 1, Group 2, and Group 3. Okay, Group 1, here's what we have for you. So when we have them in reverse, it means that it's likely to be something that you're maybe struggling with a little bit, or that Spirit wants you to know is something important for you to work on. And we have Pillar of Light. Your vibration is rising. You are the Oracle. So just know, Spirit wants you to know that you know more than you think you know. You can trust your own intuition. You can trust yourself that the things that you are thinking and feeling are correct. And that if you follow those feelings and those leanings, your vibration will be getting brighter and brighter and brighter. And in the context of this reading, you are going to attract, whether it be your ex or whether it be someone else, you're going to be attracting the perfect person, that healthy love into your life. All right, Group 2. Transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. So just hang in there, Group 2. Even if you're grieving over a former relationship a little bit right now, just know that you're going through the changes that are going to lead to your happiness. And what we see here too is not only your happiness, but the wisdom that's going to help you to be making better and better and better decisions all the time as you go along in life. Okay, Group 3. We have trust the niggle. Okay, what is that niggling feeling trying to tell you? So if you have a feeling that something is not quite right, whether it's in relationship to the question about your ex or to anything in your life going forward, just trust. You know, we have a similar message for all three of these. Did you notice that? That's kind of interesting. But in this one, you're just having that feeling that something's not quite right, or that feeling like, oh, I should really do this, or that you should look into something. Whatever that feeling is for you, go with it, Group 3. All right, guys, if you stayed with me all the way to the end, as always, I ask you to consider subscribing, click the notification bell, because I would love to see you with me on all of my readings, or at least as many of them as interest you. So sending you lots of love and blessings, and hope to see you in my next reading.